friends. Welcome back to Second Star to the Left. I'm Michelle, and this is my daughter Billy.
Hi.
And here's where we'll share board game reviews, ramblings, and a few wrong turns along the scenic route. We're going to talk about travel games, camping edition. Since we just got back from a quick camping trip, we thought this might be a fun topic.
Look at these pictures. I was on a boat. You gotta put pictures up now.
I think I want to clarify at first what kind of camping that we are doing. Because we're not like hiking out into the woods wild style. We're certainly not like throwing everything on in a backpack and hiking out into the forest. That's not our style. But we're also not pulling up in an RV and microwaving some popcorn while we watch a movie. Don't smile, we are not going to do that. I grew up tent camping, and now we have a tiny little pop-up camper. So that's usually what we do, which means, basically that means we're in a tent that's up off the ground, so when it rains, and it will rain, we do not get wet.
It's just a tent with a floor.
It is, it's a tent with a floor. But it's nice, and we're not going to get soggy when it rains. That's the kind of camping that we do. No electric, no running water, but still not quite in a tent. That said, camping is still outside, and that means camping can get dirty, and it means it's always humid, because remember I said it always rains when we go camping.
Mm-hmm.
We do
specifically when we go camping.
when I go camping. I have to alert my family that I'm going on a trip so they know not to plan anything, because it will rain.
There will be, as we call it, camping weather.
Yes, we do call it camping weather. It does kind of hinder rainy day game days when you're out in the rain. We do keep a small box of camping games in the camper that never come out. Games that will...
They've wronged us and they have to stay in the dungeon.
But games we know either it's a duplicate copy because it's a game we think will work well camping, or it's something that we just play every time we go camping. So it's easier to just keep some of them in there than to remember what to pack. Don't worry, I always panic and think about how many games we need to bring and always pack way too many games. So this is going to be a list of our top 5 camping games, for this week, and also a few honorable mentions. The honorable mentions are 2 card games, and they stay in the camper because if you bring a deck of cards that you like into the camper,
they will get destroyed.
Yeah, it gets really humid, so card games don't always hold up well, even though they're really fun to play when you're camping.
Yeah.
So we have camping versions, and we always have a deck of Pinochle cards and a pad and a pencil. One day you will play with me.
I don't play the Pinochle.
I know you don't, but Aunt Sandra plays with me, Grandma plays with me, and we have a cribbage deck in the camper.
I still don't understand what cribbage is.
I know, but I like a game where I can win. Some of the standards that are in the camper, or that we always bring, or that we brought this time, there's really no rhyme or reason to this. It's kind of the top 5 that we think work right now, right? The 5th one on the list is Hive, because what else would you bring camping but more bugs? This has become a standard vacation game for us. Mm-hmm. So much so that we have a pocket hive that we bring like when we go to the beach house or to see friends. We have the full-size one that lives so we can play it on the porch, the full-size game of Hive. We have another pocket-size game of Hive that lives in the camper because it's very outdoorsy. There's bugs moving around. It's really small and doesn't take up a lot of table space.
And I win every time.
Well, that's a reason not to bring it. But also, if they were to fall on the ground, you could just take those tiles and throw them in a big dish of soapy water and they would be fine. So Hive comes with us. The downside to Hive when we're camping is that it is only a 2-player game.
Yeah, and there's usually more than 2 of us
And there's
camping.
almost always more than 2 of us camping, so we kind of have to cycle through that. The second one is not so much the best game in the world, but one that we have always brought camping, so it has to go with us. And that's Bananagrams.
Bananagrams.
Which again just has those kind of plasticky, clacky tiles. It's like
stars.
It's like Scrabble if there was no board.
Or rules.
Or rules. Apparently there are rules to this game, but we don't ever use them. It's just a race to build the biggest crossword puzzle in front of you that you can. And I will say, now that the kids are not kids, it is sometimes a more inappropriate version of Scrabble.
We were not exactly playing appropriately when we were kids, though.
I know, but at least I could go tisk tisk at you then.
I can't even tell these nice people what we have, most famously associate with this game.
It is, however, a game that is not favored by those who are spelling challenged in our family. And there is a lot of argument about what does and doesn't count as a word because it's not Scrabble, and are we using Scrabble rules? But it's always a good time, and it's always a laugh to have everybody grabbing in the pile and getting letters and building out the thing. So,
do they still make that game?
I don't know if they still make it. Maybe they do.
If they don't, this is mean.
We have had our copy for so long, and I really, really like word games, so I was glad that this was at least one that people would play with me. We do actually have a beat-up copy of Scrabble in the camper, but I refuse to play it with the people who go camping with us because they cheat at Scrabble.
You cheat at Scrabble.
No, I'm just
You memorized 1,000 two-letter words. That's cheating.
That's not cheating. That's practicing.
Normal people don't know 1,000 two-letter words.
They're not 1,000. I just memorized the two-letter words in the Scrabble dictionary. Hobbies, people? Okay.
It's like checking the strategy guide and then saying you beat the video game all on your own.
Well, then you can read the strategy guide too. The next game that lives in the camper and doesn't come out is our copy of Love Letter that was sentenced to the camper, which is our Batman themed one. We have a regular one, and we have
a gay one.
Princess Ever After Happy Pride Month. This is the copy that is now upstairs in the game room.
This one's my favorite.
Billy prefers the Princess one. We do like Love Letter, and again, it's simple. I think when you're camping and everybody's tired, because usually we've spent the day at the beach, or we went to a museum, or we went to visit my dream house to make sure the people living there are taking very good care of it.
It's still creepy that you're stalking them.
I'm not stalking them, they're just in my house.
Okay.
But that means that at the end of the night, we are sitting down and playing a quick game, and usually by, lantern.
I was confused for a second, lantern is like a time?
No, I mean, there's not
by
a lot
lantern, we're usually doing
it. By lantern, we're finished. That means there's not a lot of light. You really need to kind of know the rules of the games that you want to play. There can't be a lot of confusion. So Love Letter is this nice, quick one. Also, if we go out to eat because it's raining and we don't want to cook outside, this is a good one to bring to a restaurant. The next one is a little bit of a cheat, just a little bit.
How so?
Well, because it's small solo game / button shy. I have that really nice little button shy.
You can't just say button shy.
Yes, I can.
You gotta pick games.
No, because look, I have that nice little tote right there. And I can just bring that, and I go through it whenever we're going to go I have a little travel bag for us to bring games in to go camping. And that tote fits right into the travel bag, and I just go through and pick out whatever button shy games we're currently playing and that don't take up a lot of table space, because either we're inside the camper on the tiny little dinette table, it's so small, or we're on a picnic table, and even that's not generally that big, and we have to be careful that things don't fall off the edge. So I tend to bring a few solo games in case everybody's lame and falls asleep too early and I can't sleep because maybe there's a coyote in the campsite. There was this time.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. It was like 2 a.m. too, right?
It was 3:30 in the morning and there was a coyote in the campsite. But that said, I do wind up playing a lot of solo games, and I do like to bring button shy because you could bring a bunch of them and they don't take up a lot of space. This time I brought Orchard as well as button shy, and I did wind up playing a bunch of this because you guys went to bed, or at least you settled in to read for the night.
Don't tell them I read.
Now they know you read. So Orchard is this lovely little 9-card solitaire game with dice where you're just planting these pretty fruit trees and setting up patterns and kind of layering the cards on top of each other to see how many of one color you can stack in one space. It's very clever.
I don't actually know this game because you've never let me play it.
It's a solo game.
You've never let me play it.
We can do soloish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, then you can heckle and I can play. So this is one that also, it fit right inside that button shy tote, so that's why I kind of lumped them together this time. I didn't bring Food Chain Island this time, although I usually did, and I didn't bring Skulls of Sedlec, which is my current favorite game to play solo from Button Shy.
So
because
why didn't you bring it?
It takes up a lot of space when you get
the
solo expansion has you building 2 different shapes and having the graveyard to dig from, and I didn't know how much space I would have. So I think I brought Maiden in the Forest because we were camping. And a couple,
that's a fun one.
And I think I brought Ugly Griffin in as well. But basically, I count that Button Shy tote as a game when we're going camping. And then I tucked this nice little orchard game in. Oh, and I brought...
Is it another solo game?
It's another solo game! This went with those. So it doesn't count as another. This is like 2A, 2B, and 2C. That's what we're on here.
What was B?
Well, Button Shy.
Oh,
B for Button Shy.
Dork.
I brought Palm Island, which I just got, and it is this really cute, interesting little resource management game that you play in your hand. You build an island in your palm. Palm Island. Get it?
No.
Okay.
Explain it to me.
You're... What's the matter with you? You have 17 cards, and you're going through them, and as you want to use the resources, you can tip them. So the resources are standing to the side, and then you have to use those resources to buy other cards, which you can flip over and turn around.
Hey, hang on. This one says it can be 2-player.
It lies.
What's that about?
It can be 2-player, but I'm not going to play it. Actually, in this box, they gave me 2 complete sets. So I believe the 2-player is like 2-player solitaire. And then you're kind of... I haven't tried it yet. I just play it solo. But it's really cute, and it came in a little travel wallet, kind of like the Button Shy wallets. And I brought this one because you don't even have to put this down, so it's not going to get dirty. Really interesting game that you could play, like, standing in line. And the last game that I brought, but we didn't play, but I did bring it.
I didn't know you brought it.
I brought Rolling Realms because roll and rights are good to play when you're camping because you don't have to bring the whole pad, and if they're laminated, that's great too. And in this case, you're writing on the cards, so it's laminated. But also, if you have a dice tray, this takes up very little space. So you're rolling the dice into the tray, and then in this one, you're just kind of cycling through all the different cards. And your dad likes to play this one. So, and you can play it solo too. So I think one of the things that makes games a good camping game is they have to be compact, and they kind of have to serve more than one purpose. Like anything else in the camper, you can't have anything that's just very specific because it takes up space. We don't have a lot of space.
This is a game and also a flint and tinder kit.
It's a weapon if you keep being in
multi-purpose.
No, but I mean, this could be a solo game.
You could eat bananagrams. Don't eat bananagrams.
I just mean this could be a solo game, or everyone could play. It kind of fills a couple of voids. No, you're just looking at me like I'm crazy. No one played this time. For all these beautiful games that we just had on this list, I played solo games. But I will say that we were only really there for one day. We got there late Friday night and we left Sunday afternoon. And we packed Saturday with trips to Mystic and kayaking.
So pretty much the only times we were at the campsite, we were exhausted. Yeah,
but I did still play some solo games. But if it were a regular camping trip where we went away for a week or so, then we would have definitely played through all of these. So, do you go camping? Do you have specific games that you use when you do? Would you rather just never camp ever and stay in a hotel so you could play whatever you want? That's okay. Some people don't want to go camping.
I suppose.
So, anyway, let us know in the comments if you do go camping and where you go camping, because we would really love to know.
So we can follow you into the woods.
We're not going to follow them in the woods.
You said it so creepily. We would really like to know.
No, just because we're always looking for a good place to camp.
Sure.
Oh, okay, don't tell me where you camp. It's your call. I'm not going to stalk you. Do you hike out into the woods? Do you bring a giant RV with a generator? Do you just sleep in a tent? Let us know. We promise not to follow you into a campground. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see,
Or if you'd like to keep watching until we get one right.
then please like, subscribe, and share. If you want to find us elsewhere on social media, including on our Discord, all that information will be down below. As always, open tables, open minds, and play yourselves.
Bye!